Woke up shining bright, feeling like a king.
And good day, welcome to Kingshipt Studios, and this is your host, Kingshipt. Now, I want to jump right into this. So, I was thinking of my journey of being an entrepreneur. My entrepreneurial spirit, where did it all begin? How did it all start? And that will be the general topic today. That's what's been on my mind. I believe economic development would also be a part of the topic, and legacy. So we're gonna have our theme song per usual, and then we're gonna hop right into this.
Woke up shining bright, feeling like a king. Every step is light, ready for anything. Mirror shows my glow, swagger in my stride. Everywhere I go, got that fire inside. Confidence in the air, feel it everywhere. Hands up high, don't care. Yeah, I fly anywhere. Dreams are coming true, nothing holding back. Gonna break on through on that winning track. Smiles on every face, got that rhythm flow. Life's a happy place, energies on show. Confidence in the air, feel it everywhere. Hands up high, don't care. Yeah, I fly anywhere.
So, where did the entrepreneurial spirit come from? Now, I was always around my dad growing up, and my dad owned his own trucking business. He was into landscape, plumbing, tiling, he's a tradesman. And computers, he can fix computers. And I was always around him. And he was always talking about, oh, I'm not working for the man. I didn't know what that meant, growing up. I just assumed because he's a man, he's not going to want to work for another man. It's better for a man to work for himself and to feed his family. And he always had work. He wasn't no couch potato, nothing like that. He worked every day, like a 9 to 5, but it wasn't a 9 to 5, like, because sometimes I wouldn't see him in the morning, or he would come home like late hours. Coming from work. And I wanted to be like my daddy. My mom, she worked in corporate. She worked in a cubicle, and I didn't really like it. I'm a adventurous. I consider myself to be adventurous, and can't keep still. I got bored too fast. I got bored too easy. So cubicles is just not my thing. It's not my go-to. And so I took up what my dad was doing. So I would always think about like ways to earn a living or make some money, get some cash flow. When I was 9, I think it was my first business idea that I could remember. And I used to make these things like this rubber string. It was this rubber string, and it's called like boongles, boondoggle, boondoggle strings, and it's like this rubber string, and you weave it. And I was thinking of selling keychains. I put a little key hook on it, and I burned the ends. So it's this clean cut look. I'm like, oh, this looks like this could be a keychain. So when I was 9, I thought to sell these little keychains for about $2 or $1.50. But I didn't go with the idea because, you know, some people will sow the seed of doubt in your heart. So when I was young, I would reminisce, or I would reflect back on why I was so doubtful. Some people will sow the seeds of doubt in your heart at a young age, so you would come to doubt yourself. That was one idea. I remember I actually don't know how much it was, how much I made, like $20. $20, and I was probably like 13, 12, 11, some age around that age. And that was when I did a Medi Petty. It was either a Medi or a Petty, both or one or. I got paid for doing that. It was a French tip. I remember getting paid because I used to work with my daddy sometimes, and a lady gave me $2 for helping move a couch. I don't think I did anything really, but she said she liked how hard I was working, and she thought to give me $2. And I think that was that moment right there, the lady acknowledging that I'm working and I'm helping my daddy. I was probably like 6, I don't know, and she thought to, pay me. And I think it was that moment where I was like, you know what, I like doing the working on my own accord, on my own time, and getting paid to do it. I think it was that moment right there where that lady paid me that inspired me to be an entrepreneur. Even my dolls were entrepreneurs. I remember one of my dolls in a retail store. Like, for real. So I believe that's where it all began. Me working with my daddy. And he had a water truck at one point. A dump truck. A water truck. I remember he had like 3 trucks. I was always around trucks growing up. Sand yards, I think that's what they're called, where they break up big rocks into like small grains, and then the grains turn into sand, and they you got the, dang, I'm trying to think of the name. It's not a forklift. It's the one that scoops it up and puts it in the tow truck. And it was like all these moving trucks. It was like all these moving pizzas. I just thought it was really cool. I was always at the dump. Therefore, it was the trash dump, or the dump where they dump the grass, the grass or dirt or whatever, or trees, branches, and all some stuff. I was always just with my daddy, and that's where it all began. And I was thinking about, some people may lack action because they lack ideas. And I've been working on a business idea since I was young. And then I took up business in college. And you have to put together a business plan. And you gotta decide what your business would be. I had all these ideas, and none of them stuck. I'm like, oh, it's not enough. Like, say if I had products, like say I made my own soap, and I wanted to rent a location central. Now everybody knows the city, anywhere central, is more expensive than the outskirts. So I'm looking at paying rent. Can my soap afford the rent? How much will my soap sell for? How much am I spending on the bottles, the ingredients to make the soap, and the rent altogether? Will I be able to run my business? Say if I don't get any sales, will I be able to sustain the survival of my business on just selling soap? I'm like, okay, the idea is not big enough because the products can't afford to sustain the business. What I'm selling can't afford to pay the business to sustain the business. Okay, what if I do it online? What about shipping? That means I need transportation. Because people want convenience. I'm like, okay, maybe the business idea isn't big enough. Too much money. Every idea is like too much money is going out. Not enough money is coming in. How much does it cost? Price is fixed. Cost is it fluctuates. So the price of a car, let's not complicate things, the inflation or whatever, but the price of a car is 30,000. That's the price. But the cost of a car, you're talking about when you take it off the lot, that's the 30,000 plus the maintenance, plus the gas, plus if any damages happen, if you happen to get in an accident, plus insurance, plus licensing. That's the cost. The cost comes with everything else. The cost of running my business was too costly. It was too expensive. And my possible income didn't cover my possible costs. Like, it's too expensive. My idea is not big enough. And it was just trial and error in thought. Scratching it, writing it down, throwing away the paper, starting over from scratch, building up a plan, starting another idea, scratching that idea. And this trained my mind, or primed my mind, to think past where I am. So I can think of an idea and think where that idea can get me. So if I think, okay, I'm selling soap, it's better for me to find a store and earn commission. Because me delivering it myself is too costly. Me opening up a store is too costly. So why don't I find somebody who already has a store and earn commission? All I have to do is buy the ingredients and the bottles and let the store do the rest. They're already established. They already have clientele. All I have to do is promo on my end, and I soon pick up my when you find out your idea, when you're solid on an idea, it seems like the hardest part is starting. Because you can plan. Prepare for a whirlwind, any possible, mishaps. And take too long to start. You gotta start somewhere. Because the sooner you start, the more experience you have. The faster you can become an expert. Funny enough, all these business ideas, and the best idea was to take care of myself. Take care of myself, slow down. And on top of that, I'm a woman. How I function is not how a man functions. I need my rest, I need my beauty sleep. I don't need to be stressed out all the time. I can have an idea for the largest conglomerate in the world. But as a woman, I need to incorporate my off days. I need to incorporate my cycles. And when I incorporated that, I realized I can't do this on my own. A conglomerate is too costly on my body, on my mind, on my nerves. I can afford to find a king who can do everything that I plan to do, who can execute on all my business ideas. It's not overwhelming for him. He knows exactly what to do. When I say I want to open up a retail store, he knows who to talk to, who to connect to, how much it costs. He's already on it. He's already got a store. All I got to do is make the product. All I gotta do is focus on myself. The best decision that I made on my whole entrepreneurial journey was to focus on myself. And when I decided, matter of fact, I didn't decide that. No, not many people believe in God, but God took everything. I lost everything. I had a retirement plan, mutual fund, insurance. I had life insurance. I had a main account, a savings account, and an account just to send money to my retirement plan. 2 credit cards. And I had a relationship with 2 banks. I lost everything. My bike broke down. I worked for a delivery agency. My bike broke down, so I couldn't work no more. My back went out, so I couldn't work at the military no more. Couldn't work at the army no more. My other job, because I had multiple sources of income, my other job couldn't afford to pay me, so they let me go. That was my teaching job. Then I got a cleaning job, but that job closed down. And then I partnered with a family member with delivery. So he worked on a delivery truck. He got fired. I got paid $50 at the end of the day. He got fired. And the delivery job, when I had my bike, that bike went on. Then I had rented out another bike. I got pulled over by the police. Apparently, the bike was, I didn't look into it. I didn't care. I was just trying to make money. I got pulled over, and the bike was expired for about a year. So I had to go to court. I didn't pay that. I ended up giving the warrant or whatever. I gave that to the person who I rented the bike from, as I should have, and as I did. And then one of the managers lent me the bike, and the battery died. So I'm like, you know what? And then I had a teacher's assistant job, and I got let go because my mouth. I have a very unconventional way of doing things. I look at the soul. I don't care about grades, but because I'm a teacher's assistant, what I think doesn't matter. I believe students should care and enjoy the class, especially if it's like arts and crafts. You know, I think the opinions matter. I just have a different approach to things. I want them to be full of life when they enter in school instead of being dead. Sometimes you walk into school and you're wondering like who died. And it's just this very solemn energy. You just feel the stress in the air. I didn't like it there. But I got let go. I'm like, you know what? I started to, it took me some time to relax, to actually relax while relaxing. I would get stressed out. I'm the type of person who didn't give myself days off. I used to be a librarian's clerk. That was another source of income that I had. A videographer, and I worked, I think it started at, I don't remember when it started, but that was every night on a Wednesday night. I was a videographer, and I was still going to school during that time. I still had regiment during that time. I was still a delivery agent during that time. I had multiple sources of income. I had multiple hustles. I even sold snacks and sandwiches while I was working at the regiment during COVID, which was dangerous because, you know, it's a food hazard, it's a health hazard, it's a health hazard. So popcorn, drinks, granola, and sandwiches. Then after that, I sold earbuds, a smartwatch, a portable fan, and waterproof fan bags, some shoes. I'm a hustler. I stay on. And eventually, I lost everything, but I gained myself. The best decision that I made was to focus on myself. Now I'm more family oriented than I am career oriented. Because I decided to slow down. I decided to soften up. And funny enough, when I in the midst of me, like just when I started to lose everything, my account got terminated. My computer broke down, so I couldn't do any more photography, videography gigs. Right around that time, I got introduced to Kevin Samuels. And I was like, I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing it wrong. I shouldn't be in the army. I should be a teacher. I should focus on being a teacher. Because he's right. Army makes you hard. And if you got a cute face, it's just a little bit more uncomfortable. Because some guys don't know how to behave themselves. And some females don't know how to relax. And because it's such a close-knit community, everybody's in your business. Unnecessarily. But being a teacher allowed me to be more soft, be more mothering, be more nurturing. It allowed me to tap into the energy that I need in order to be a wife. The best decision I made was to focus on myself, because I softened up because of it. Nobody wants a hard wife. Nobody wants a hard woman unless you're a soft man. That's all I really had to say. From entrepreneurial spirit to wifey. I've always been wifey though, which is another story. And I'm still have an entrepreneurial spirit. It's just now I'm taking a back seat. I'm in the passenger seat. I'm no longer a driver. I don't want to be. I want to be an artist. I want to focus on monetizing on my gifts and talents without having to be too busy. I want my kids to have me in the life instead of both parents not being at home because both parents are married to the career. I want to raise my family. I want to focus on my kids. I want to focus on catering to my husband. Feeding his goals, feeding his ambitions, while nurturing mine as well. I'm not gonna give up on my own dream for my family, no. Just because I'm relationship oriented doesn't mean I give up on my dreams. I just get to relax now, because I'm not allowing myself to carry the burden on my own. I'm divvying it out and only taking what I need. I want to be an artist. Well, if the husband's making the money and he's got the money coming in and he's got the cash flow coming through coming in the house, then what am I worrying about? I can focus on my art. I can focus on creating. I can focus on being a mother, a wife, and a helpmate. All the things that I want. And if you think long term, this frees up any stress that I would have had if I was to do it all by myself. And that is all that I had to say for today. We're going to end it off with the theme song per usual. And I will see you next time. Peace.